Hello, welcome to the episode of Motoring Middle East. Today I'm checking out the Ferrari Portofino, and really I'm checking it out because if you're an astute follower of our channel, we've already reviewed this car. Shazad put it through its paces on Jebel Chase, and if you want to see the car really hammered, go watch that video. For me, this is just a chance for me to really explore the car because I haven't driven the Portofino and I'm quite interested. The earlier car, the California, wasn't Ferrari's finest tower. I mean, they tried to improve it over the years, but really it had a horrible gawping Joker style face. It was just too soft. It was a Cadillac more than a Ferrari. But the Portofino says it fixes all of those problems, and they're not messing around. They've put the engine from the 488 GTB and now Tributo in it. It's a 3.9 litre twin turbo V8, about 600 horsepower, and it's a much better looking car as well. Really low slung. It looks just like the 812. It's a good looking vehicle, and it better be because they're asking a lot of money. As anything with the Ferrari badge, you're looking at a starting price of 855,000 dirhams. Technically the cheapest car they make, but also still really expensive. Plus this probably has another 100k in options on it. Anyway, let's see what it's like on a design front. So what's the design of the Portofino like? Well, it's a lot better than the California. I like some of the details they've taken from the 812. We've got the same sort of slinky headlamps, the classic egg crate grille here, which I'm sure Ferrari will send you some nice options for. And check out this key, by the way. It's now finally not a metal key, so it is a wireless key. And if you look at it, it makes classic BP Ferrari noises. Nice wheels here, really quite cool, and you've got these curly cues which are basically the same as you get in Aston Martin. They cut into here. Now they don't give you any, I think, any benefits in terms of airflow. Well, there is a bit of a hole here, so maybe it does keep the car stuck to the ground. Big Ferrari badge, of course, as you would expect. These scoops that make you think the car is mid-engine, but actually it isn't. These are not feeding the back at all. They're just there for style. One of the big problems with cars of this ilk is how do you hide the butt? Because the California had this massive ass to cope with all the folding roof gubbins. Now with this car, it's much sleeker and lower, so look at the way the curves come, really quite elegant. And if you come around to the back, you can barely tell this car is a folding roof. It's got classic Ford exhaust, the twin jet engine tail lights, the big Ferrari badge. It's really quite well done. Now, does this huge back mean that it's got a lot of boot space? Well, let's open the boot. Let's open the boot. I'm expecting a lot, and actually there isn't. All the hair really is space to keep one or two soft bags. Now, this is in place when the roof is up. When the roof is down, obviously it disappears. So the trick is, basically when you're going on your holiday, you keep the roof up and you just put all your luggage in. Now, this is a huge amount of space, but you can see all the motors and things. It's all very complicated, so I wouldn't want to get your bags get cat stuck in there. Otherwise, not bad. Let's see what's like on the inside, shall we? So I'm not going to bore you with too many details about the interior. You've seen Ferraris and you've seen the earlier review. You know what to expect. This is a pretty classy, elegant interior. These seats are so skeletal and bony that you think, how can they possibly be comfortable? But of course, you've got impeccable craftsmanship, contrast stitching, this beautiful Ferrari logos, and actually they are really quite comfortable and cosmetic. Otherwise, it's not exactly the most practical car in the world. You've got one cup holder here, you've got a little space here to keep your phone or your wallet or whatever. The transmission tunnel is basically holding everything, including the gear selectors here, so reverse, forward and launch control. This is the button that drops the roof. These are the two window winder switches, and here is a place to keep your sunglasses. It is pretty tight in here. Electronics wise, this is the latest Ferrari system, so I'll start it up. Just let her hold the key down, which is quite cool. That makes a little bark on startup. Big Ferrari logo here. So radio, media, navi, I'll run them through very quickly. Works Virgin, because we all listen to Virgin. Media, which is of course all usuals, Bluetooth, etc. It says CarPlay, but it doesn't seem to work on this car, so I'm not sure what the issue is, but I'm sure it's not a big one. Navigation, which nobody ever uses anymore because you've got Google Maps. Phone, very helpful. And climate control in this car. Look at the screen. It's unbelievably complicated. Look at all the small buttons. It's so classically Italian and fiddly. AC is quite good. No complaints about it at all. And settings. But overall, it looks cool. It's not very easy to use because the font isn't the best. But hey ho. You've also got redundant buttons down here, which work better if you ask me. Now, let's look at the main steering wheel. Pretty much your classic modern Ferrari of the last 10 years. Indicators, wipers, Manatino for settings, calls, voice command, big lozenge of plastic for start stop, bumpy road, so when you're in sport like it is now, you just press this and it smooths out the suspension, lights, etc. The main screens, if you come and see, big tachometer. I love the silver backdrop. I'm sure for a lot of money Ferrari will make that yellow for you because they're like that. You've also got the alternate speedometer here, you've got navigation over here. I can run through all these settings, but they're pretty boring. There are quite a lot of nerdy details like tire temperature, voltage, oil pressure, temperature. Nobody cares. You just want to know what this car is like to drive. And I'll tell you something, it's probably the best convertible Ferrari in a while, which is not hard because the California was pretty terrible. So this is actually a whole lot better. Let's find out. So what's the Portofino like to drive? It's a huge improvement over the California, which was a bit dreary, a bit dull, a bit of a Cadillac if I'm being honest. Whereas this is much nicer, much sharper. It's a great daily driver. When we want to, it can deliver the goods. It's got 600 horsepower. So let's start off in comfort mode. This is sort of the basic softest mode. Let's see what it's like. Full automatic. And I'll go up through all the modes, explain what they do. Even in this mode, it holds onto gears. It knows exactly what you're doing. 600 horsepower. When it hooks up, she does go. She does bloody go. Yeah, it gets up and goes. Alright, let's put it in sport. You feel the torque really build you up like a Rolls Royce. It's just like boom, pushes you in your chest. Let's try in sport, see the differences. Yeah, instant response in throttle. Bang, just like a bullet, off it goes. You could use the paddles. You don't really have to. I mean, it's optional. I mean, the car changes up. It's more for your enjoyment than anything else. This car can be driven automatic most of the time. And that's the way Ferrari probably would like to drive it. Let me put it in sport. Now, I should point out something about other older Ferraris. When you had cars like the 458, 488, not the 488, the 458. When you had cars like the 458, if you played the Manettino, you were playing with fire. If you had an Enzo, the moment you went out of basic, you went towards race and off, it was really risky. But now with these cars, you could realistically run sport all day. It's not that dangerous. The car has electronic diffs. It knows how to control itself really well. They've softened it up. And what they've done is made the car flatter you, so you feel like you're a better driver. The old cars were like steadily removing assistance. What this car is doing now is effectively increasing assistance. It's all very subtle. It's all very clever. And it's not a bad thing because the people who drive these cars are, let's be honest, not racing drivers. This car will make you feel like a racing driver. It will flatter you. It will cover up your mistakes. Do I like it? So, I like a car that's a bit playful. This doesn't do that because if it lets go, it's going to let go at like, you're not catching this when you're a dab of opposite lock or anything. You're talking about 100 plus kilometers per hour when the wheels start to slide. The tires are massive. So, it is easy to drive, difficult to master, and really doesn't want to be driven with everything off. It wants to be driven in a nice, safe, soft way. Okay, so we've already driven the Portofino. There's no real point pushing it any harder than that because owners aren't. What they're going to do is something like this. They're going to put the roof down and take it for a little drive. And the great thing having the roof down is you can hear that beautiful exhaust note. Just a little electronically controlled butterfly valve that increases or decreases the volume depending on the position of your right foot. The man in front of me is braking miles in advance. That's what a Ferrari is all about. And I have to say, this car is a great top-down driving experience. There's not too much wind flow. I can still talk to you, even with the body down. The stereo is superb. The stereo has this incredible amplification. But who needs a stereo when you've got God's best soundtrack behind you? We overtake on this corner. Amazing. It's a beautiful day. It's about 20 something degrees. This is Ferrari weather. I'm in Ferrari country in a big open road. Lots of construction buses and traffic, etc. That's the only downside of having convertible is that you get to smell everything. And everything is not always what you want. The question I asked at the beginning is, I guess, the California, yes, because it's much better looking, and the steering is better, the braking is better, the handling is better. Yes, it's a better Ferrari. But it's also still a good convertible. What the California was good at was being a good convertible. Not to be a good Ferrari. Now it's got the best of all worlds. So I'm quite happy with the Portofino. The sad thing is when you're in the Middle East, you don't have this epic scenery. You don't have the village of Portofino. You don't have the roads around Gibraltar to enjoy yourself. In that way, a car like this will, I think, spend most of its time with the roof up, which is a little bit sad. A car like this should always have the roof down, otherwise why are you buying a Portofino? But it probably is the most well-rounded, accessible Ferrari. Now Ferrari is going to update this with the hardtop version which is the Roma, which is coming out now. I'll put a picture up, and that is absolutely gorgeous car. They're saying it's not the same car, but we all know it is the same car. It is absolutely the same car. And I think that's going to be, for me, the one to get. But if you have to have the top-down experience, it has to be the Portofino. And it's so much nicer to drive than something like a Huracan convertible, because that car is still trying to be a hardcore, fast-track car and a convertible. And it's never quite easy to do that. You get the 488 GTB, which does that, but those cars are better as hardtops, in my opinion. This car is better as a poser's car. And in this case, being a poser is not a bad thing. My only concerns are fuel economy is typically terrible, so it's just drinking gas. It's got 2 back seats, but they're virtually useless because you can't get anybody over 3 feet into them, not even for babies. Luggage space, pretty poor. So as a Grand Tourer, kind of mixed reviews, but as a car, as a touring convertible, it's a nice car. And I think it's the best topless Ferrari I've ever driven, which is great because I haven't driven that many topless Ferraris. The older ones are terrible. The older Ferraris are terrible, the convertibles, because they're so unreliable and they're noisy and smelly and they break down all the time. This feels as solid and reliable as a Camry, and that is the highest compliment I can say to Ferrari's engineering, that this car feels incredibly rock solid tough. And on that note, it's time to leave. I'm looking forward to drive my next Ferrari. I think it'll be an 812 Superfast. That's going to be a completely different kettle of fish, bag of worms, or whatever mixed metaphor you choose to examine. I'm Imtishan. This is Motoring Middle East. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you next time. One of the nice things with Portofino, borrowed from its F12 bigger brother, is this secondary display for the passenger. So you've got media, obviously your music, you've got navigation in case you want to find your Qibla and prayer direction apparently. Speedometer, this is the one everybody's going to see, runs through all the rev count, goes up to about 7,500 RPM, gears, speed, goes very fast. Then you've got sport mode, traction, look how smooth the animation is. They've really got these things down. And music, quite nice, and it gives your passenger something to look at while they're screaming.